right, welcome everyone to another Deep Dead. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at something that I think is on all of our minds pretty often. Healthy food, healthy diets. We've got some pretty cool source material here.
We do.
And I think our goal is to really extract from that material some practical, insightful nuggets to help you navigate, the world of healthy eating without feeling completely overwhelmed.
Yeah,
We'll explore the why, the what, the how, and even the when of eating well, drawing directly from these sources.
absolutely. And I think, I always say the first thing that goes through my head when I hear healthy eating is, oh, here we go again.
Right.
What am I supposed to eat? What am I not supposed to eat? Kale and quinoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right, right. And I think that that is not what we are about. That is not what this is about.
exactly.
This deep dive is really about taking a much more balanced and smarter approach to thinking about food choices.
Definitely. A lot of the sources really kind of pushed back against that idea of really rigid rules and really focused more on how does this affect your body and how can you make sustainable choices for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, cool. I like that. So let's start at the beginning then. Why, beyond just, fitting into our favorite genes, should we even care about healthy eating?
Okay, yeah. So the material makes a pretty compelling case that goes way beyond just the way we look. It really emphasizes the connection between what we eat and how we feel, our energy levels,
Yeah.
our mood,
Oh, interesting.
even our mental clarity and cognitive function. And there was this one analogy that really stuck with me. Think of your body as a really high performance machine, right?
Okay.
You wouldn't put cheap gas in a Ferrari and expect it to perform at its peak, right?
Right.
It's the same thing with your body. What you eat is the fuel that allows your body and mind to function at their absolute best.
I love that. That's a great analogy because it really takes it away from this idea that we have to, eat this way. And it's like, no, no, no. You are investing in how you are going to experience your day.
Yes, exactly.
And I also really liked how the material emphasized that it's not about this, again, this idea of perfection, this unattainable, I eat perfectly all the time.
Yes,
It's about making consistent progress over time.
that's huge. Yeah, that really is. It's more about small improvements that build upon each other over time rather than shooting for this perfect diet right off the bat.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's a journey, not, a destination.
Yes.
So we've talked about the why. Let's get to what are we actually supposed to be eating? What are we aiming for here?
So step one is all about whole, nutrient-dense foods.
Okay.
That means things in their most natural state, or as close to that as possible. Fruits and vegetables, tons of color,
Okay.
whole grains, not refined grains, so they still have their fiber, lean proteins, healthy fats.
Got it.
And kind of along the same lines, they talk about colorful plates.
Oh, that's easy.
It's really easy, yeah. Basically, the more diverse the colors on your plate, the wider range of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. There's a lot of research that suggests that those colorful compounds have all kinds of health benefits.
So I don't have to memorize a list of nutrients. I just have to make sure that my plate's looking pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. Okay, now I have to ask, because I know this is on everyone's minds when we start talking about healthy eating. Do we have to say goodbye forever to our favorite, quote unquote, bad foods, the things we love, pizza, chocolate, all that?
Thankfully, the sources are really balanced on this point. You do not have to deprive yourself.
Okay.
They talk about strategies for fitting those things in.
I like that.
So if you're having pizza, load up on a salad with tons of those colorful veggies we talked about.
Oh, that's a great idea.
If you want chocolate, go for a small piece of really good quality dark chocolate instead of a whole candy bar. It's about being conscious and moderate.
Right. It's not all or nothing.
Exactly.
Okay. I love that. And, one thing that I think sometimes gets lost in the conversation about food is the importance of just staying hydrated,
Yes, absolutely.
drinking water. Did our sources talk about that?
Oh, yeah, they were very clear that getting enough water is not negotiable.
Okay.
It's involved in so many vital functions, and if plain water gets boring, they suggest adding some natural flavors. Cucumber, lemon, some berries, make it a little more exciting.
Yeah, make it fun.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So we've covered what to eat. Let's move on to the how we eat.
Right, so the material really emphasizes this idea of mindful eating.
Oh, interesting.
Slowing down, really paying attention to the taste and texture of your food, really tuning into your body's signals. Are you actually hungry?
Wow. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Especially, in our world where we're, eating on the go, eating in front of a screen, doing 10 things at once.
Exactly. And they talk about distinguishing between actual physical hunger and eating because you're bored or stressed.
Oh, that's so smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they even have a practical tip: use smaller plates. Apparently, it tricks your brain into thinking you're eating more than you are, so you end up feeling more satisfied with less food.
Wow, I love those kind of like psychological tricks. That's great. So we've covered what to eat, how to eat. Let's get to when to eat. Is there an ideal time to be eating our meals and snacks?
The sources seem to agree that regularity is key for most people.
Okay.
Eating at consistent times helps regulate your blood sugar, gives you steady energy, and prevents those crazy hunger pangs that lead to bad decisions.
Right, because when you get super hungry, you just grab the first thing you see, which is usually not the healthiest choice.
Exactly, yeah.
So how about intermittent fasting? Is that something they touched on?
They did mention it, and they said it can be good for some people, but it's definitely not one size fits all.
Right.
It's about finding what works for your individual lifestyle and your health goals.
So it's about rhythm, not, following the latest fad diet.
Exactly.
Now, the material acknowledges that making all these changes, it can seem kind of overwhelming, right? What tips do they offer to make this whole healthy eating thing more manageable?
The common thread is to start small, focus on gradual changes. You don't have to completely overhaul your diet overnight.
Okay.
They suggest things like adding an extra serving of veggies to your dinner or swapping soda for water, little things that add up over time.
I love that because I think that people are like, I've got to change everything all at once. Then they just kind of give up, right?
Yeah, it's too much.
So it's encouraging to hear that, baby steps are okay.
Exactly, yeah.
The other thing that I really appreciated about the material is that they emphasize that healthy eating shouldn't feel like a punishment,
Yes,
like
absolutely.
you're depriving yourself.
It's about nourishing your body and enjoying your food. They even use the example of having a slice of cake at a birthday party. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's about the big picture not being so rigid.
Exactly. It's about finding that healthy balance, making good choices most of the time, while still allowing yourself to enjoy life's celebrations.
I love that.
Yeah.
So to sum it all up, it sounds like what we've learned from this deep dive is that healthy eating doesn't have to be overly complicated or super restrictive.
Yeah.
It's about being mindful, making informed choices about what we eat, how we eat, and when we eat, and remembering that progress, not perfection, is the goal.
And it really is a personal journey. What works for one person might not work for another.
Right?
The important thing is to listen to your body and figure out what feels best for you.
Yeah, that is so empowering, that idea that you are in charge of how you feel and how you fuel your body.
It is, yeah.
So I guess the question now for you listening is, what's one small change you can make this week? It could be anything. Adding a fruit to your breakfast, chewing your food more slowly, drinking more water. Just one little thing to get started.
Absolutely. Think about that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it helpful and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
I hope so.
And until next time, stay well, stay energized, and keep making those healthy choices.
Sounds good.